Alright, in this video, we'll be looking at the chemical difference between carbon 4 oxide and carbon 2 oxide. Let's dive in. First of all, let's look at how these two compounds are formed from the chemical equation. When we have carbon plus reacting with oxygen, and carbon 4 oxide CO2 is formed. This is a balanced equation. This is carbon is solid, oxygen is a gas, and CO2 is a gas. From the equation, we discover that the ratios of carbon to oxygen is 1 mole is to 1 mole. So 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen to yield 1 mole of carbon 4 oxide. So in a nutshell, carbon 4 oxide is formed when there is enough oxygen to bond the carbon in a ratio 1:1. Alright, let's look at carbon 2 oxide, how it's being formed. For carbon 2 oxide, we have that carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon 2 oxide. To balance this, let's introduce 2 here and 2 here. This is solid, this is gas, this is a gas. Alright, from the chemistry of the reaction, we discover that the ratio of carbon to oxygen is 2:1. In that case, it implies that the oxygen supply here is limited, just 1 part for 2 parts of carbon. So in a nutshell, carbon 2 oxide is formed when there is not enough oxygen, when there is just a limited amount of oxygen to bond the carbon supplied. That's when we have carbon 2 oxide. In real life, we experience the formation of carbon 2 oxide in vehicles that have issues with the engine combustion chamber, such that there's not enough air to burn the carbon from the fuel. In that case, the amount of oxygen used is not enough to burn the carbon completely, and in that case, carbon 2 oxide is being formed, and when the car moves, we can see thick smokes coming out from the exhaust of the car. And of course, this is dangerous because carbon 2 oxide will always react with the red pigment of the blood, the hemoglobin, to cause some health issues. So in a nutshell, carbon 4 oxide is formed when there is a sufficient amount of oxygen to bond the carbon in a ratio 1:1. While on the other hand, carbon 2 oxide is formed when there is limited amount of oxygen to bond the carbon, such that the ratio of carbon to oxygen supplied is 2:1. In our next video, we'll be explaining the real meaning of the numbers carbon 4, the meaning of 4 and the meaning of 2 as they are applied in the nomenclature of carbon 4 oxide and carbon 2 oxide. Until then, make sure you share this video, like, comment, follow us on our channels on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at High Score Tutorials Online. Until then, thank you.